All right, so I'm Matt Kroll. So welcome to Kroll Farms. This is a family-ran operation. My mom, Kayleen, my dad, John, my brother, Adam, my wife, Nicole, kind of all have our own jobs and areas that we work. We've been a pretty diverse farm for pushing 30, 35 years. Farm crisis in the late 80s, early 90s kind of pushed us to diversify. We started growing some few tomatoes and some pumpkins. That quickly transitioned to, adding 2 or 3 vegetables a year. Now we grow 40, 50 different varieties, any vegetable A to Z. That also spurred planting a few pumpkins, right? So we started, kind of jumped in the early 90s into agritourism, and to this day, till 2024, still doing that. So kind of run through a life cycle of the farm, what we do. Springtime, we've got 5 greenhouses that are dedicated to starting our garden starts, but then we also sell a good amount of annuals, perennials, bedding plants, vegetable plants. So we always kick off our sales season in our retail space a couple weeks before Mother's Day every year, and we're open till about mid-December. So flowers, then we jump into produce season, kind of spearheaded with sweet corn. Usually started around July 4th. So sell sweet corn, and about 10 years ago we started a CSA program as well. So we started a community support agriculture program. I think this is year 11. This year we're supporting 140 families, so our biggest year yet, and we deliver those door to door on a weekly basis. Tuesday through Friday for 16 weeks. Then quickly transitions, believe it or not, end of August we'll start picking pumpkins, right? So what is today, July 25th, we'll start picking pumpkins here in about 30-35 days. And we take care of a lot of the Fairways and Hy-Vees, and other local grocers and other wholesalers in this area supply those. And then our largest influx of people is September, October, where we kind of open up our farm and allow people to kind of roam about, learn about, and see what a normal Iowa farm is. And then we're able to go through the corn maze. We got a hay bale maze. We run about 150 head of beef cows as well, so we'll have a good amount of that herd up by the house so they can interact with the cows. We've got some laying hens, so we sell some eggs as well, so people can kind of see a chicken, see some rabbits. We got a miniature pony, bringing a couple goats, pigs, other things that aren't kind of normal for us. But year-round we sell firewood as well, so we sell retail off the place, provide a lot of local restaurants with their wood-fired pizza for their wood-fired pizza ovens. A couple barbecue establishments as well use our hickory wood. And then we do the wrapped bundle, as you see on any convenience stores, or a lot of the Hy-Vees, Fairways in this area. So we also do about 600-700 acres of row crop, corn and soybeans, and then 15 acres of sweet corn, 45 acres of pumpkins and squash. We're immersed right now in the garden, which sits on about 3 acres, and we got about 3 high tunnels that help us with tomato production. So pretty standard, Monday through Thursday 10 to 6, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday 9 to 4. So that's, like I said, about 2 weeks for Mother's Day. Usually have our spring open house. And then we also kind of dabble in some greenery and Christmas trees, so we pretty much stay open till about December 15th normally. So yeah, 7 days a week. So yeah, what inspired us to open an agritourism business would be, just diversifying what we have, right? Our home farm is about 450 acres. We run another, and that's just the home. And then we run about total with pasture, hay ground, row crop, we run about 1,200 acres. So medium, small size farm in a row crop atmosphere. So we're just trying to maximize every acre, right? And what we saw, that opportunity was with tomatoes, pumpkins, and sweet corn early on in the early 90s. And that's kind of spurred us to starting that business. And 2017, we built a new kind of retail space to kind of separate the production side of our business to more the retail and agritourism side. So we kind of thrive on, or kind of pride ourselves on, just keeping this farm as normal as we can, to just kind of offer a glimpse to people on what an everyday farm is, equipment used, what we do on a daily basis. So we always try to provide that educational component to what we do, and I think that's just kind of carried us well over the past 30-35 years. People, we open our doors and there's no admission charge, right? So, a family of 5's not getting hit with $100 at the gate, or the front gate. So we try to allow people to access, like I said, just see a normal farm And yeah, if you buy a few pumpkins or you buy some sweet corn or produce while you're here, we appreciate that. But we try to provide that doorway or that pathway for them to understand what we do, when it comes to all those hot items, right? Cover crops, herbicides, all those things. We're an open book, so. What is rewarding about running this? It's just, you get a lot of people that are, I would, not to age people, but 40 to 60. Oh, I remember when I was on grandparents' farm. I remember when, and to kind of let them get a little of that nostalgic feeling and come back and I remember I used to square bale hay in the summer for 3 weeks, right? And more and more, we get a larger disconnect. Even people in Iowa, urban areas, disconnect from the farm. So that's rewarding, just to allow people to kind of get a taste of their childhood and hopefully teach their children, hey, this is, farming and agriculture is a huge part of the state. And, a lot of people are still in the sector, but a lot of people aren't. So to keep that connection to people, to understand how their food's grown, why we grow corn and soybeans, what it's used for, fiber fuel, all those things. So like I said, I always draw back to that connection that we can make with our customers too, but then just in the local community and Eastern Iowa as a whole, having that connection or that old connection they used to feel on grandparents' farm. So, providing that feeling of where our state is based, right, and what it's always been based off of is agriculture. So to provide that opportunity for people to see it, like I said, touch, feel it, smell it sometimes when the cow manure is alive and well, to kind of understand that. And, that's my personal, favorite is just seeing the young kids' eyes light up. We show them how we grow a pumpkin from seed to vine to flowers. What are those? Those are bees on the photo that we show them. Are they important? No, we don't like. Yes, we really like, explain them the processes of how important the whole ecosystem is in a whole, as we relate that to everything we do. So, yeah, it's just, that's, I've kind of hit on a couple times. My personal favorite is just seeing the young kids' eyes light up, learning something for the first time, but also seeing the older generation get those nostalgic feelings of when they used to go visit grandma and grandpa, or they came from a farm but the family lost it, or whatever their scenario may be. Providing the opportunity for them to see it again is always fun for me.